Hospital officials today confirmed the first fatality in the continuing racial unrest plaguing French cities. A 60-year-old Parisian man died from injuries he received on Friday. France has now seen an escalation in the violence, which first erupted 11 days ago with rioters in Paris shooting and wounding police officers. The hardest hit provincial areas were Marseille, Saint-Étienne, Toulouse, where reports say further rioting is taking place tonight, Metz and Lille. But it was the Parisian suburb of Grigny that again suffered the worst of the violence. Lucy Manning has this report from Grigny, where tonight more violence is expected.
There will be no no-go areas, said the French government. But last night, Grigny in northern Paris was one area no one, not even the police, wanted to go to. A crowd of 200 hooded youths lured police into the housing estate and attacked them. Shots were fired from pellet guns. 10 officers were injured, 2 seriously, 1 after being shot in the neck. This was the most serious rioting since the violence began. Youths taking on the police in running battles.
It's very, very dangerous, and many policemen are injured.
Do you have control? Are the police are in control?
The police has the control, but it's very, very difficult.
The streets were littered with tear gas canisters. Their orders are to regain order on the streets, but in Paris, as in Marseille, Saint-Étienne, Toulouse and Lille, the rioters still have the upper hand. By day, the deprivation on this estate is obvious. The mainly immigrant community have little prospects. The youth stand on the street corner showing each other the mobile phone pictures they took of last night's riots. There is no fighting here on the streets now, but there is discussion, there is argument, and they are angry. They are angry that they don't feel French, they are angry at the government and at the police, who they say are provoking them.
Maybe I have a paper French, but I don't think I'm a French people. But because they think we are not French. I'm French, I have the paper French, but when you go to the police station, you're not French.
Sarkozy a fait un travail de Yankee.
Sarkozy did a really terrible job. He really messed it up. He treats us like we're dirt off a car tire. I'm not a tire.
And so Mr. Sarkozy, the Interior Minister, his name a dirty word in these parts, met community leaders and admitted France had got its integration policies wrong.
Et puis il faut en même temps reposer la question extrêmement difficile.
At the same time, we need to ask hard questions about immigration and integration. We can see that the French integration model is not working and needs to be seriously revisited.
Qu'il est aujourd'hui en situation d'échec.
In the Arab cafes, the talk is of how to make things right. Stéphane Raoui met with the Prime Minister Dominique de Villepin last week, taking the view from the banlieue to the politicians.
These people don't have nothing, and now they want something, and they want to obtain exactly same right and same condition as the other French in other part of country.
But they're trying to achieve it through violence.
This one is not clever from them, but they don't know other way to speak.
Everything that is to do with integration and discrimination has been set aside. All the Republic's values, liberty, equality and fraternity, don't exist anymore.
Despite Muslim leaders announcing a fatwa forbidding Muslims from joining the riots, nothing has stopped the burning or stopped the burning from spreading. They say they want change. The question tonight is whether the government's new proposals for improving the deprived areas will finally halt these riots.
Lucy Manning reporting where she joins us now from Grigny. Lucy, we heard earlier in all these proceedings Monsieur Sarkozy talking about scum with reference to the rioters, but he seems to have retreated, according to your report at least. De Villepin, the Prime Minister, talks while we're on air. What's he going to do?
Well, these are concrete proposals from the French Prime Minister that we're expecting from Dominique de Villepin. And it's really a twin-track approach here. What they're saying is that they will make some suggestions to try and improve the deprived areas, try and address the concerns that the rioters have, at the same time as keeping that tough approach on the rioters, sending the police out to tackle them and arrest them. I guess the test will be on the streets tonight. Will any of the proposals that the Prime Minister makes stop in any way the violence that has been on the streets for the past coming up to 2 weeks now? Certainly tonight there are signs that the fact that he's going to make proposals isn't helping. We've already got reports of rioting in Toulouse.
Now, in your particular suburb, the mayor appears to have called for a curfew. Did he get one?
Well, that's right. The mayor in the next suburb to here has called for a curfew, has said that all those under 18 shouldn't be allowed out on the streets unless they're accompanied by an adult from 10 p.m. tonight. That's what the police union have been calling for. They say a curfew is needed to try and stop the rioting. And really, it's quite amazing that something like that hasn't come into force already, because night after night we have had violence on the streets. What's also happened here is that in one of the next suburbs, the Préfet has announced that gasoline, it won't be sold to people who are coming for it in cans. It will only be allowed to go into cars. That to try and stop these petrol bombs that have been flying out at the police every night so far.
Now, I mean, you mentioned that it's begun already in Toulouse tonight. Do you get any sense that there's any kind of informal structure, organisation, or is it simply mimicking across the country?
Well, I mean, certainly the people that we speak to say that they have just been angered by what has been going on, the death of the two boys that triggered all this. But there are certain signs of organisation. Last night's episode where the 200 youths congregated and then attacked the police, that certainly couldn't have just been spontaneous, 200 people just coming out. And the police were on that estate when we were back there this morning, going into houses, going into basements, pulling out people's computers and things like that. So the police certainly suspect that there is some organisation here, that there are copycat attacks, and they're not expecting that it will quieten down anytime soon.
Lucy Manning in Grigny in Paris, and we shall be returning to Paris later in the programme, trying to find out why.